Yonah was talking about a person who hears words of rebuke and does not take it to heart. He says, and doesn't take it to heart. What happens? Says Rabbi Yonah, his sin becomes more serious and thus weighs down upon him more. Right? As it says about King Yehoiakim and his servants, when Prophet Yirmiyah, who came to King Yehoiakim, right? And he told him rebuke. He says, listen, the destruction of Beit HaMikdash is coming. It says, Velo pahadu, velo karu et bigdehem. They did not fear and they did not rip their clothing. So you see that the pasuk says that it's wrong. He gave them rebuke and he should have been upset and sad and do teshuvah when he didn't. So that's a reason why Hashem punished them more. Right? It shows that you don't take Hashem serious when you don't hear rebuke, when you don't change your ways because of rebuke. 6. Yehoiakim was the son of the righteous king Yehoshayahu. For many years, the prophet Yirmiyah prophesies about the destruction that will follow the Jewish people if they don't change their ways. During the reign of Yehoiakim, Hashem commanded Yirmiyah to record his prophecies in a scroll. When the scroll was read to Yehoiakim, instead of doing teshuvah, what did he do? He said, cut up the scroll and burn it. I don't want to hear this anymore. So instead of doing teshuvah, he ran away from it. So therefore Hashem says, thus Hashem said that Yehoiakim, the king of Judah, he will not have anybody sit upon the throne of David. His corpse will be cast in the heat of day and in the frost of night. So Hashem gave him more punishment because he did that. And the sages say in Yerushalmi, whoever learns and doesn't fulfill, someone who learns Torah and doesn't fulfill what he learned, it's better that he would have had his placenta turn on his face and he would not emerge into the world alive. Hasa Shalom, there's a very complicated medical condition when the placenta comes out before the child. It could kill the mother, it could kill the baby. But the Shalmi says someone who learns and doesn't keep what he learned, it's better that this should happen to him, that a placenta comes and covers the baby and the baby should die. Hasa Shalom, then he should come to the world. Better you didn't come to the world, the Gemara says. Why is that? This refers to 7. This refers to someone whose general mindset, his Torah study is purely intellectual. You know, these people, they study Kabbalah.
To become just smart.
Yeah, they want to learn Kabbalah. Put tefillin, no, I like to learn the secrets, the spirituality of the tefillin, consciousness and the light. You have to feel the light and all this kind of stuff. Put the tefillin, no, just the spirituality, just that. It's not for me, right? He says everything is just intellectual and I don't want to change my behavior. So the Torah study of such a person is worthless, since the true purpose of Torah is to bring someone to proper behavior. The person who studies like this, he doesn't have not Torah study, he doesn't have merit of mitzvot, and since the purpose of this world is to do mitzvot and to study Torah, it will be better that he didn't come to the world at all. That's why it says that. So you see how having a bad mindset when it comes to learning and you don't keep, when you hear rebuke and you don't change, look how severe the Torah talks about such a person. It says in Hosea, I wrote for them the great principles of my Torah, and they respect it like I'm a stranger, like I'm an alien. I'm Hashem. I give my mitzvot in Torah. How can you treat my words like as if nobody is saying them? So therefore, a person has to be careful. Okay, derech hamishi. The 5th way to do teshuvah, it says to be inspired to do teshuvah. He says, during the 10 days of Teshuvah between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, the one who has fear of Hashem, he should tremble. He should know all his deeds are recorded in a book. And therefore what? So what does this mean? He needs a book. Why does Hashem need a book? So the note over here says that Hashem is aware of all our deeds. He doesn't forget. What? He needs to write it in a book or else he's going to forget? No, it means that Hashem talks like in our terms. You know, Hashem has a hand. It says like Hashem's nose got flared, and it says Hashem's outstretched arm. He doesn't have those things really. It's spiritual. So here, when it says a book, it doesn't mean a book. It means he remembers. It just when we remember, we have to write it down. So therefore, Hashem talks in the ways that we talk, right? Everything we do is recorded in a book. And during that time, Hashem will judge us for every single thing we did, good or bad. Remember what it says by Yosef? Yosef revealed himself to the brothers, and the brothers were shocked. They were like this. And it says in Midrash, Oy lanu Meyom Adin. That's how they felt. Yosef told them, I am Yosef. Is my father still alive? And they got such a rebuke in that moment. They're like this. What are we going to say? How are we going to defend ourselves? We know we did the wrong thing. They're like this. Karach. So therefore, he says, the sages say, that's how we're going to feel. And then the days, Hashem's going to open the book. And say, what is this? And why is this? And how is this? And what are you going to say?
No answer.
He has to be able to answer.
So therefore, he says that since you know that day is coming one day, so therefore that's why we have to make the shuvah right now. Because what are you going to be able to answer? So you have to prepare yourself now. Prepare yourself not by giving an excuse. Prepare yourself. Don't let a sin happen, so you shouldn't be in such a situation. A person judged on Rosh Hashanah when and his decree is sealed. Yom Kippur, you should know. People think, okay, Yom Kippur. Be'eronim, they have Yom Kippur. Yom Kippur, you only seal. But when is it written? Rosh Hashanah. After it's written on Rosh Hashanah, maybe you can rearrange the letters. But it's already written. So how much can you change already?
But what's better, seal or written? Seal.
So seal is more important. But once something's written already, how much can you change it? The question is, okay, we'll edit a little bit and then give the seal. But before Rosh Hashanah, you could still, it's fresh paper, you could write whatever it is. So therefore, a person has to be careful, even already Rosh Hashanah. He's bad. A person, he has IRS, right? Give him audit, right? Government, give audit. Somebody who is an inspector comes to the store. How do you feel? You're nervous. You're very nervous. You prepare in advance. Listen, if they ask me like this, I'm going to say like that. If they ask me like this, I'm going to say like that. You cover all your bases, right? You're nervous. You're sweating when the guy comes to look at your stuff. So why don't we feel like this when HaKadosh Baruch Hu? HaKadosh Baruch Hu also, he's going to give us the audit. What? No, don't worry. He's going to come and ask me forgiveness. He's going to forgive me. Me and Hashem were like this. He's my boy. Right? How you talk like that? How you talk like that? First of all, Hashem is your father. He's not your boy. He's your king. Melech Malchem Melachim. So if you think that you could be just chilly-billy, do whatever you want, yeah, I'll do sins, Hashem won't give me forgiveness. He'll say, at least I came to shul, at least I prayed, at least I wanted to do shuvah, that's it. Yes, that's true for people who was very hard for them to do that. But you're a religious guy. What? Of course you're supposed to come to shul. That was easy for you. Of course you did the shul. That was easy for you. Hashem wants to know, did you really push yourself like you're supposed to? That's what Hashem's going to audit you on. Hashem's going to audit you on. This, okay. The child, he said, Abba, I went to the party. Chazak Baruch, everybody has to go to the party. What? You have to tell me I have to give you Chazak Baruch. You went to the party? Of course you have to go to the party. You went and you cleaned. You went and you put everything away. You went and did something beyond. Okay, now I can give you reward. So therefore you said, I went to shul. Okay, Chazak Baruch, you went to shul. People in the religious level you are, everybody goes to shul. What did you do extra? What did you work on yourself a little bit more this year? What did you accept upon yourself? So that's what Hashem is going to audit you. And if He says, I know that many years you told yourself you're going to start keeping Shabbat fully, and every year you say, oh, Rabbi, slowly, every year you say slowly, one day. How many days is going to be one day? Hashem knows if you could keep it or not. A guy says, yeah, Rabbi, I have to start coming to learn in the evening. You're right. I have to stop cursing. You're right. I have to start keeping this, keeping that. One day. Hashem every year judges and says, this year, I know you could do it. I know you could. You were just lazy. You're just giving excuses. How are we going to answer that in the day of judgment, Rosh Hashanah? So that's why he says, if you're scared of the IRS, you're scared of the government, how come you're not scared of Hashem? Problem is, we don't take Hashem seriously. We think everything's a joke, and that's where we need a lot of Yirat Shamayim. Baruch Ne'olam. Amen.